25 laps to go. For 10 years, Pepsi and Jeff Gordon have been a winning combination. Let's race down memory lane and victory lane with the 4-time series champion.
Pepsi and Jeff Gordon, 10 years running, 10 years of winning.
He has amazed me so many times in the car I can't even count.
There's no one that has a resume to even compete with Jeff Gordon in the last decade.
The record speaks for itself.
Jeff, congratulations on 10 years of Pepsi.
You deserve every bit of the success you've had.
That's a long run and a lot of successful time.
Jeff, thanks for a great 10 years. Here's to our next trip to Victory Lane. New from the makers of Pepsi, Jeff Gordon, 24 Energy. For a limited time only. It's going fast.
Field getting the 1 to go here at the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Various strategies working. Casey Mears is the race leader. He last pitted on lap 110. We're working lap 136. From pit road, it was 4 tires for Kurt Busch and Jamie McMurray. Among the cars that took 2 tires, the 22 of Blaney, the 07 of Clinton Boyer, and we're told there was an issue for Martin Truex Jr. on his pit stop, and we'll get that story from Marty when he's ready to give it to us. So right now it's scored as Mears, the race leader. Marty?
Thank you, Weber. The story with Martin Truex Jr. was they accidentally took 2 tires on that one car. He came in, was too close to the wall on the left side. They meant to take 4, but they couldn't get the jack underneath the left side of the car, so they sent him on his way with just 2 tires. Then when they realized everybody else took 2 tires, they said, leave them out there. We'll see what happens. Ralph?
Pat Tryson is the crew chief for Kurt Busch. Pat, you chose to take 4 tires when you pitted here. Why did you choose that strategy?
Historically, 4 has really been an advantage here at Daytona, and Miller Lite Dodge has been awesome all night. We didn't want to take a chance of putting 2 on and getting too tight, so hopefully Kurt can get by these guys pretty quick, and we can, us and hopefully Kyle and a couple of those guys get away from all those guys, and we can put that Miller Lite Dodge in victory lane.
Bill, they dropped back to 6 with that pit stop, but they're hoping they got a good car ready to go here.
Thanks, Ralph. And look at that car in 2nd place. Casey Mears. Casey Kane, I'm sorry. Casey Mears is the race leader. Casey Kane in 2nd.
Got the damage there on the left front from the first caution.
That's right.
Him and Jeff Green got together going into turn 1.
Mears and Kane did not stop under this caution.
You're going to see guys scrambling right now with different tires and everything like that. With 24 laps to go,
They got to scramble now. Every restart from this point on.
Oh, there it goes. Looks like Blaney may have missed a shift there, the way some of those guys started out underneath them.
Gilliland almost ran right over Martin Truex. Casey Mears had a strong run at Charlotte in the Coke 600. Won the race using a fuel mileage strategy, but did have a good car in that race. Casey Kane runs 2nd. Then it's Truex Jr. and Clint Boyer. Lindsay on Casey Mears.
Bill, you talked about how they came in lap 110, took 4 tires to fuel the filled tank. They came in 2 times previously, but Casey said the biggest challenge he's having is working through traffic. So that is the whole thought behind keeping him out and making that decision.
Traffic's behind him now, and there's a lot of it.
I think 26 car knew where that yellow line was that time.
He knew exactly where that yellow line was that time.
Cannot go below the yellow line and make a pass. McMurray was black flagged for it earlier in the race. Has worked his way back up to the front. On on board with Jeff Gordon.
Wow, yeah, no kidding.
It's McMurray, the 26. Biffle, his teammate, in the 16. Jimmy Johnson in the low Chevy, the 48. Pretty much. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is where the teammates need to start finding each other and working with each other. There you got 4 Roush cars down on the bottom.
But this is where the cars are working well, so the inside line is the fastest line, and they're hung on the outside. And on new tires, we've talked about it, we beat it to death. There's just so much grip there, you can run on the bottom. I've been impressed that Casey Mears and Casey Kane have been able to hang on the first and second for the last couple of laps.
But it's going to get to the point where one of these guys on the bottom, Kyle's got to lift because his car's going to slide or something's going to happen, and that outside line will then shoot by him. Well, there may be 3 or 4 lines before we get to that point, but
these guys are just trying to get away from the 25 and the 9, to tell you the truth.
Casey Kane hanging on there in the 9 car.
Going to lose a lot of spots there. Mears is trying to make his car about 30 feet wide. B20 to go this time by.
See Kurt Busch there in the 2 car got in between the Roush train there on the bottom.
You know, right now the cars that are up front, the 5, the 07, the 48, those cars, they're the guys that have been up there. So these guys have worked their way back to the front of this pack no matter what. Most of these guys that have been in the top 3 or 4 all night long have worked their way back up to that point. But look at 07 on the outside here. He's just drove up on the outside of Casey Mears and those guys. He just got a really good run and jumped up on the outside. And now that inside line, you see Casey Mears' car just kind of twitch a little bit there.
Side by side for the lead.
And this is where you start finding out who your friends are too. This is the part of the race where you're starting to run with guys and you're wanting to see who's going to run with you and who's going to mess with you. And 5 car's been messing with everybody, but he's got probably one of the best cars in the field.
Clear. You're clear. All right, you're clear. By about 5. Now, when I tell you something, let's do it right away. Don't hesitate on me.
Yeah, Marty, I was about to say the same thing to you, too.
Yeah, exactly right. Clint Boyer back out in the lead after he fell back after that electrical problem midway through the race, was back in 19th at one point. This is the same exact scenario they tried earlier in the race. 2 tires, about 14 laps on his left side tires. Boyer out front once again, Bill.
But those Hendricks cars are 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there.
Which tells you
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because I'm going to tell you what, that 4 car is screaming about that 25, or that 5 car is screaming about that 25 car right now.
And vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa.
Because that 5 car is getting that 25 car awfully loose right now. He is driving right up on the rear bumper of his teammate.
Kyle Busch drives for Hendrick Motorsports. He's in the 5. Will leave that organization at the end of this year. That's his current teammate Casey Mears in front of him in the 25. And Jimmy Johnson in the low Chevy, another Hendrick car.
I'm going to tell you, if you're leading this thing, if you're the 07 leading this thing, which line do you pull? Do you try to pull the inside line? Do you try to pull the outside line? You know, he's got a little cushion there with the 25 car on older tires. The outside line's got fresh tires, and if he starts pulling those guys will come back to haunt him
exactly.
later in the race is what I'm trying to say.
So that's why you want to be down on the inside. Make it harder for the guys that are on really good tires to get there.
Yeah, make them use their tires up a little bit, running that outside group, running a little bit longer line around the racetrack, putting a little bit more heat in those tires. Let them run them off a little bit before they get up there and can race with you.
Jeff Gordon.
Oh, there we go. Gilliland round. Oh, I cannot believe that's a single car accident.
I cannot. That's incredible.
And let's wait for the follow-up. Caution is out.
Hey, good job, man. Okay, keep going, keep going. It's okay, guys.
I think we talked on one of the pre-race shows about being lucky getting through all that stuff.
Tires.
Man, that was lucky.